How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Anime in the Basement podcast. We are your hosts, as always. It's the OG Osmosis, or just simply Ozzy. And joining me, as always,
It's your boy Boozer.
and we are back. We went on a small hiatus, but we are back. A lot of things have been going on, as per usual. But as you see in the title, Dragon Ball Superhero dropped almost a week ago. We got to see it a little early, but we didn't have the time to record a review early. Boozer was seeing it a little later than I was. I went back to the theater to rewatch it so I can get that theater experience and see how the crowd was, engaging with the movie and all that stuff. But we're here. We're just going to be talking about Dragon Ball Super. We'll be back maybe next week with another more meaty episode, I would like to say, a more meaty one, because we got a lot of anime news that we haven't really discussed in a while. Super smartphone. We haven't discussed super smartphone since
I'm
I
a few
would like to
chapters
say
behind.
since June, maybe early July. We haven't really covered super smartphones since then, and we really haven't given any other anime reviews other than what we did a month or so ago. But we got Dragon Ball Super, obviously a courtesy early on. This is gonna be a spoiler-filled review. But let's get right into it. Boozer, you let me know. I want to take you let me know what you thought about this movie first. I know we were both a little iffy on it,
Mm-hmm.
and after I've let it marinate for like a week or so, I think I got a lot to say about this movie. But I want to hear your thoughts first. We haven't really talked about it through text.
Yeah. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, the animation.
Yeah, of course.
I wasn't as disappointed. I wasn't really disappointed in a sense, as at least like I thought it was. Of course, when we hear it's not 2D, we assume
Right.
like it's possibly cost cutting, something else, lazy, whatever it may be. We assume that because of experiences with things like Berserk and whatnot. Like we just get worried.
Right.
It definitely didn't feel like that. It seemed like they just wanted to try out a different style.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether that saved them money or cost them more money. I really don't know. But it just seemed like they wanted to try a different style because there were a ton of moments visually that looked really good. The fight scenes were actually pretty interesting, but I would have loved it in 2D. I'm just gonna say that. I
Oh
think it
yeah,
would have
for
just been
sure.
chef's kiss in 2D. Especially since like the style it was, I feel like a lot of the character design, especially Saiyan hair and Super Saiyan, just looks so blocky.
Yeah, especially
Um,
especially in the third act, like those final
yep,
moments,
especially in
which
the third act.
we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely in that third act, I get what you mean.
But
Definitely.
yeah, I just feel like it would have been Chef's Kiss in 2D. I feel like visually it would have been so much better in 2D. And I just love that art style. Seems like they wanted to try a different route.
Yeah.
And sometimes it felt like I will say some scenes, like especially in the beginning with him, the one dude getting broken out of prison or
Right.
getting out of prison, it felt like I wouldn't say not the quality of animation,
Mm-hmm.
but the kind of like the way the camera was moving and like it felt kind of like Reboot. You remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I
The
remember
camera
that.
moves around a lot in that show. And they do a lot of like zoom ins and whatnot. I don't know. It felt like
Yeah, especially
I,
what they were going for with the whole B aspect of it. Like I get what you mean.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it felt like it doesn't really even catch your eye as like a Dragon Ball Z movie at first. Um, but yeah, like at the end of the day, I don't have complaints that anything felt like lazy or it didn't feel like it was like crap animation. I
Mm-hmm.
just would have preferred a different style. But at least said sometimes it looked pretty dope, and like the explosions and the smoke looked pretty neat. I think it was like a mix between 2D and 3D, right?
It was a mix. Some
It
aspects
was a
were
mix, right?
2D, some
Hmm.
parts were the 3D CG, which it was a nice
Yeah,
blend. In some scenes, for the most part, it worked and
yeah,
it
yeah.
flowed very
I
well.
feel like it worked a lot better in times where there was a lot of action happening
Oh yeah, for
because I
sure.
think there
Which
was
is
a lot more
which is what
blending.
I
Yeah,
was very concerned with this depiction, this animation style depicting those fight scenes, especially with Dragon Ball Z, with Dragon Ball in
yeah,
general. They're very high intense, they're very close up. There's a lot of action going on and a lot of movement to really kind of you don't always get that fluidity with this kind of animation.
yeah.
In any
Correct.
any action anime, whatever shown in anime you're watching, honestly. But yeah, that was the animation for the most parts. Is obviously we're still addressing the big elephant in the room. Like you
Yeah.
mentioned, it is blocky in some parts, especially when
Also,
it
the
gets to
mouth
saying hair.
movements.
Right,
The
right. I
mouse
thought okay,
movements
I wasn't the
felt
only one. I
very
wasn't the only one.
either delayed at times or just like,
It just
especially
looked a little off.
yeah, like 2D, you never really notice it. Like for the most part, for me, like I
Hmm.
feel like 2D lip movements are usually always pretty solid. But man, there were times where like I thought the audio was off. Like that's how kind of like
Or some
how
reaction, or
it
some of
didn't
the
match up that
reactions,
much.
right? Or some of the
Yeah,
way the characters were reacting. Maybe they weren't trying to react the way they were coming off with the animation due to it, like the way the
yeah.
mouse were moving. And I'm just like, is he really smiling during this right now, or is
Hmm.
he like supposed to be upset? Is he frowning? Like you're kind of giving off mixed signals with the animation. But I mean, it doesn't
Exactly.
happen often, but when it does
Hmm.
happen, it's
When I did, it was very
fairly,
jarring because I was like,
yeah,
because I got worried. I was like, is like the audio off? Is this about to like,
right.
is this about to like start messing up the whole movie?
Yeah, like I mean, for the most part, other than the animation, I did enjoy it. It did look really good, especially during the action sequences.
Hmm.
I like how they
Correct. I think that's where it
depicted.
really shined. It was
Yeah,
the
I
heavy
mean,
action in the third act.
yeah, especially in the third act with all the
Yeah.
heavy explosive, the action and the fighting. I mean, and you have multiple people fighting all at once. It's not
Hmm.
just two
Yeah.
individuals just fighting and going back and forth. There you can kind of you have a little bit more leeway as opposed when you have an ensemble just fighting out this big bad and whatever. But yeah, overall, with the animation, the character designs, I mean, it all looked pretty solid. For the most part, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah. Same
I
here.
enjoyed it. I had a blast.
I
My
had a good time.
expectations were super low for this movie. I was like, I'm not really getting a gist of what they really want to accomplish with this movie. Who's really coming out of here as the superhero? Like, what are they trying to do? I know we're bringing the Red Ribbon Army back and
Hmm.
Red Pharmaceuticals. We're deepening the DBZ lore and bringing it back to the forefront of giving original story, which is great, obviously. But
Hmm.
I must admit, and I have to like really call a spade a spade. It is, or at least it feels like, it's kind of rehashing the Android and the Cell saga a little bit
Yeah.
too
A
much.
little
You know what
bit.
I'm saying? It's like, yeah, we've been there already. So it's like,
I would have liked a different enemy than a new cell.
right.
I
And
think
then
that like I
that
didn't
was the
mind the
issue.
androids because I actually really liked one
Yeah,
and two.
I enjoyed Gamma 1 and 2. Yeah,
Yeah, especially
more than
Gamma
I thought.
One.
More than I
Yeah,
thought.
I genuinely, especially like their short evolution
Hmm.
throughout the movie, I enjoyed the concept of them thinking they're on the right side, but they're not.
Right.
And because they're androids and they're just following, and that's what happens with androids. Like, they're following orders, and then they
Yeah.
realize, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't be following these orders.
Right.
But
Exactly.
I definitely enjoyed them a lot more, so I don't have a problem with them. I just feel like rehashing the
Yeah.
self at
Rehashing the
the
Cell. Yeah.
what was it, the cell,
Cell Saga.
no, what was his name, like what was he called,
Oh, he was called Cell Max
cell
or
max,
Max
yeah,
Cell or some shit
max
like
cell or
that.
something, yeah. But like him, like the design was like pretty, like just like a reskin of cell with just like a weird mace like tail,
Yeah,
and he's giant.
it was even perfect form Cell on top of
Correct,
that.
yeah, it
Like
was like it was like the form right before perfect cell.
yeah, it was like second
um
form or whatever.
and like I don't know, they should have, I feel like that arc should have just come up with a, I mean, it still could have been like a cell like monster, just come up with a different character
It could have been a
design.
completely different Android, to be
Yeah,
honest. It didn't have
correct.
to
Yeah,
be, it
it didn't
didn't
even have to
have
be
to
like
be
a perfect
Cell.
cell,
Yeah,
but
it
like
didn't have
yeah,
to be
like
Cell.
it should have just been a something else, like a completely, because that just didn't,
And then I
it
think what
just
also
didn't
made it,
feel
it didn't
like
feel,
original.
yeah, it didn't feel very original because obviously we've seen this happen
Mhm.
before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With this, like again, the Android saga, the Cell saga, we've seen all this. It's just rehashing.
Hmm.
You got two androids who think they're doing the right thing. They
Hmm.
learn they're not doing the right thing. They
Correct.
need them to bring a version of Cell to life to be the ultimate android to fight against the Z fighters and whatever. So it's like we've seen it already. So it doesn't come off as super ambitious. Yeah, maybe these are some ideas or some characters you maybe wanted to throw in at some point in the past, probably, or these are just revisiting the story. You kind of thought maybe I could have added these characters, or maybe I would like to expand on the story. And obviously, Akira Toriyama, that's basically what he did here. You want to just expand
Hmm.
that side of the lore a little bit more, but it doesn't feel super original because we've been there.
Hmm.
And then just making Cell Max just this berserk
Just
giant,
berserker, yeah.
just berserker villain, like
Well,
who's
because
just
the whole thing
scream.
is he wasn't ready yet.
Right, but even
Yeah,
then,
but it
even
was still
even
like,
then,
yeah.
he should have. He's a smart. Obviously, he was conscious enough to know he
Hmm.
was going, what he was doing, and who he was going up
Yeah.
against. So there is a sense of programming there. He is an android,
Hmm.
even if he's not at 100%. So I just feel that making him super berserk or making him like this Hulkling who just
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
grows bigger and more powerful as he gets mad. It's just like I'm like, we could have done a little better with that, at least with the villain aspect of it.
Hmm.
And obviously the only characters who feel like they really got proper character development here were the Gamma 1,
Hmm.
Gamma 2, and then Piccolo. It is like a
Yeah.
nice change of pace to see
Yeah.
Piccolo as the leading character of a Dragon Ball
I
story.
that's one thing I thoroughly enjoyed was seeing uh Papa Piccolo
Yeah.
being showcased
Being Papa Piccolo and Grandpa Piccolo all in the same movie
and
and
getting
being the
shit done and just
and
getting
getting
shit
shit
done.
done, being a spy, throwing hands, getting a
Hmm.
massive power, which obviously
Turning
felt,
orange.
turning orange. All of that, at least, everything for Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 and Piccolo felt super earned, and the character
Yeah.
development throughout the movie was great. The build up to the big climactic, fight at the end was also great.
Hmm.
Obviously, it takes its little time. You want to get people
Yeah.
familiar, and that's something I appreciate at the start of the film. They kind of catch you up to speed with very brief. This what
Yeah.
happened with Goku when he was a kid. The Red Ribbon Army, he thwarted them
Yeah, I thought that
before.
was pretty good,
You know,
that recap. Yeah.
yeah, it was pretty straightforward. You didn't have just recapping the important parts of the Red Ribbon Army
Hmm.
and then
Because
Dr.
that's
Gero.
old. I mean, if
Bro,
it
you're
was
going
just
back to
way
the
back.
80s. You're going
Yeah,
back
it's
to the
way
80s. So
back.
that
A
was
lot
before
of new. I
that
mean,
was
it shows
before
our
our
age when we were
time.
like, I don't need that recap.
I mean, I mean, the movie starts with telling the audience, is like, oh, you
Yep.
might be old enough
Yeah.
to remember. You know what
They called us out. They called us out,
I mean?
bro.
It's like, bro, you don't have to do me
Called
like
me out
that.
directly. Yo, there was like 7 people in my no, there was it was me for the and then like 3 other people
Yo, bro, it's
and
like
we were all the same age.
a lot of the people who
Just
were
a
at
bunch
my
of us 30 year
theater
olds.
were a whole bunch of 30-year-olds, maybe people like in their late 20s and
I did
shit.
see it in the morning though. And no, actually no, I saw it on like a weekday at like 7. So in
Yeah, so
all
you
fairness,
you
it's
definitely got
no one's
our
really
age
showing
group.
up to an anime movie on a weekday at
Exactly.
7 p.m.
Mind you, I went on a Sunday night, like at six
Mm,
o'clock, and not even half the theater was full. But it
yeah.
was a bunch of grown men, late 20s,
Hmm.
30s. A couple of them with their girlfriends and stuff. The girl's just tagging along. Maybe she's an anime fan. Maybe she
Yeah.
just likes Dragon Ball, or she just wants to make the boyfriend happy,
Yeah.
which is all fine and dandy. We appreciate them. But yeah, it was just a whole bunch of dudes in their 30s that watching this movie. So I felt called out. I'm like, you didn't have to put me on the spot. I know how old I am. I know I've been watching Dragon Ball since I was
Hmm.
like 7 years old. Stop it. But yeah, I mean, everything for those two, for Piccolo and Gamma, felt super earned. Even for Dr.
Hmm.
Hedo too, to be completely honest, for not wanting
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do much, wanted to. He created a life for himself to really become his own person.
Hmm.
Even though he did get, he did end up becoming a beneficiary of, the money that runs in his
Yeah.
family, whatever. But to really still make a staple, or at least make himself a worthy name on his own without backpedaling off the Giro
Hmm.
or the Red Ribbon name was pretty cool. Then see him come full circle and want to complete his research with Bulma on the Capsule Court
Hmm.
by the end was pretty cool. So I'm hoping, even though this movie is not canon, I mean, at least according to reports from like comic
Hmm.
book and stuff like that, that none of this is canon. Not even Orange Piccolo is canon. Gohan at
Damn.
the end, what form is that? I have no fucking
Yeah.
idea.
Honestly, my favorite aspect of what we saw in Dragon Ball Super, Gohan just having that like just Saint Black went back to black color hair
Yeah,
and with like kind of like the silver electricity.
right.
To me, just keep it there. I love the idea of him being so
I
powerful
would have loved it
that
to stay there.
that
Or
he's just got that black. He goes from the gold down to the black, but he's way more powerful. I love
right.
that.
And or even going to like Super Saiyan 3 just to give a nice nod, or Super Saiyan 4. I mean, there's so many other versions of Super Saiyan they could have went with Gohan in this movie, but to give him to go from Super
Yeah,
Saiyan 1 to that second power up to then skyrocket is
just
like
silver hair with red eyes,
is like
whatever that form was.
whatever that was, it Ultra Instinct with the Sharingan and shit.
It wasn't
What do
even,
we got?
because he's supposed to have his own form, so it's not Ultra Instinct.
Yeah.
Well, because he's supposed to have his own power, like from
One of
like when
one
we
of my
first to
friends was
Super.
telling me who I went to see the movie was that he has a form that's kind of close
Correct.
to Ultra Instinct, but it's not Ultra
Yeah, but it's
Instinct.
not Ultra. Yeah, correct. Yeah, because the whole
Yeah,
thing is like Vegeta is going towards his own power. Goku has the Ultra Instinct,
yeah,
and then Gohan's supposed to be this whole other thing as well. So, and I do like that. It kind of gives variation. So we're not just waiting for, oh, where's
yeah. We're
Vegeta's
not
Ultra Instinct, where's
Vegeta
Gohan's Ultra
Ultra Instinct,
Instinct,
Gohan Ultra
because like it's
Instinct.
kind of boring because like, okay, we've already seen the upgrade, so okay, we're just waiting for everyone else to reach that point.
Yeah,
But I feel like if everyone gets like their own little thing, I feel like it just gives variation.
yeah, variation,
Yeah,
and it keeps things interesting. And then obviously you're giving everyone their own, even though the
yeah,
Saiyans for the most part all have the same power, not necessarily
correct.
power, but their base power are all the same, and their abilities
Hmm.
for the most part are all
But
the
they're tapping
same.
into new things because like
But they're
Ultra Instinct isn't exclusive
exactly,
to
yeah. Is
Saiyans,
it
yeah,
so? It's
and they're
exclusive, and
they're
that's
combining
exclusive.
it with
Specific
their Saiyan
exactly,
power.
and that's exclusive. Obviously, Ultra Instinct is exclusive to Goku, and then oh, why am I being signed out? Okay, so that's Ed that's signed in. So, but yeah, Ultra Instinct, being exclusive to Goku. Then I think it's like Ego Form or something is called like that in the manga. Now I don't read the manga
I
to
don't
be
know.
honest. It's
Yeah, I haven't read
just
the manga,
information that
so
was divulged
yeah,
to me as I was walking out of the theater. But I honestly, I don't know. I don't feel like Gohan earned necessarily this power up. There was too much of trying to rethread that Super Saiyan 2 moment from
yeah.
from the Cell games, which
Hmm.
is listen, it's okay, but you just unfortunately you're never gonna bring that moment again. It
Yeah,
was it was
but
so timely for its
I
time,
gotta say, the one dope thing about that was instead of using the Kamehameha,
He used the special beam cannon.
he used the special beam
What
cannon.
this is what
That
made
was fire. That was
what
fire.
made that super fire to me was obviously we get the call back to him losing it. You get the red line that goes through
Yeah.
behind him. The screen, the background goes all red. That's it. He's that's it. He's beast mode. He's
Yeah.
blind and with rage. Um, you get Piccolo wrapping him up, holding Cell like as if he's holding
Mhm.
Raditz.
Yeah.
Going way back to season
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
of Dragon Ball Z. You know what I'm saying? Like that callback there. And then obviously you just mentioned instead of him doing the Kamehameha wave, he does a special beam cannon. Again,
Which is
another
much more
callback.
focused and
Yeah,
small.
much
Yeah.
more focused, much more powerful. Not necessarily more powerful, but it's a super powerful move that
Hmm.
Piccolo showed him. And it's just the callbacks to that, the parallels to that, and then him having to shoot it without having necessarily killing Piccolo and shit.
Correct. Which
Because
a
Piccolo
Kamehameha would have been a bigger blast.
exactly would have been a bigger
Massive
blast.
blast.
This one
Yeah.
was more focused and whatever. Overall, I think it
Also,
was
can we just talk about how gnarly it was that he just decapitated the Cell?
yeah.
He just blew off that dome. We usually don't get that
not
raw.
this
Like we haven't
not,
gotten that raw since we sliced like Frieza in
since we
half, and Frieza was
which
fighting
they
with two
showed
different
which they
pieces.
showed. Remember when Magenta was showing Dr. Hedo the footage of Trunks.
Yeah.
Yo, and they showed him slicing up Frieza. I'm like, bro,
Also, who was
you had to
recording
do
that?
that. Who was recording
Who
that?
was recording that?
They had drones at the time. They,
Yeah,
they
was that
must have
maybe
had
it was?
drones,
Yeah, it was that a random drone that like was that snuck into that fight? I
bro.
guess. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe another Trunks from another future, came in and to record himself killing Frieza, so he has proof
I
for
mean,
generations. You know what I mean,
I think the only logical thing is that the Red Ribbon Army somehow had a drone follow, like see the spaceship enter orbit and follow the spaceship or something. That's the only thing I can think of. That kind of makes sense to me. Yeah, but I just thought that was funny because I was like, I don't remember anyone recording that, but I was like, oh, okay, they can have a
yeah. I mean,
drone.
they found footage of it. I mean,
They
I don't
clearly
know
are aware
how.
of stuff going on in the world, so they probably saw the ship. They probably somehow noticed a ship came into orbit and
Right.
sent the drone, and then it
There
just
has to be
recorded what
some sort of
happened.
explanation. We're probably
Yeah,
overthinking it at this point.
but
So I
yeah,
mean, it is
I
what it
this
is.
listen. I wasn't a huge fan of the transformation, but that special beam cannon scene was dope.
Listen, I'm not,
And
it didn't feel
and
earned,
Orange Piccolo,
which
there was some
okay,
things that were pretty dope.
which I mean, it didn't feel completely earned, and obviously they try to play him like a little wuss still, and it's
Yeah,
like, come on, you got to put some respect on Gohan's
yo,
name.
seriously,
This man's been throwing down since he was like 3.
I don't know what the manga's been up to lately, but get Gohan back in the game.
Please,
I
please,
get like
please. He can
like get him
throw
back in the
hand.
game.
Yo, and I think the crazy thing is that this movie really cements what was the original plan. Like Gohan was meant to be
Mm-hmm.
that main character going
Yeah.
forward. Obviously, Goku is super popular, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What a show. Obviously, from a business standpoint, as a writer, you might want to make that change and bank on the character who's super, super popular with the
Yeah.
masses. And obviously, still to this day.
Bro, I would love for them to eventually Goku and Vegeta are just gonna get so all powerful. Like I feel like they can like go off and just like do something, be like, listen, I would love for like them to be like Gohan, Piccolo, you guys are the new Vegeta and
Right,
Goku.
right. I
You
wouldn't I
guys are
wouldn't mind
powerful
that. Like,
enough.
let's say if they decide to really bring back the anime at some point, if you're just gonna focus on Piccolo and Gohan, and they're gonna be throwing hands left and right, just whooping ass, handing out ass whooping, I'm for it.
I would
'Cause
love to
I
follow
love Gohan.
Gohan, and also like we got. I'm fine with Gohan being like the state, like the fun dad or whatever, but
Mhm.
like man's got to step up a little bit.
He does. He does. He be lacking a
He's got to
little
be
bit.
ready to start throwing hands a little bit more.
I mean, he was as soon as he found out that Pan was like kidnapped. Yo, that
Yo,
power up was yo. I was like,
yo,
yo, my man's ain't playing,
my
dog. He
man said,
destroyed his
"Fuck my
own house.
house, fuck my
He
house,
destroyed his own house
where
with
my
that.
daughter."
Yo, he's
Yo,
like,
he was
you
about
put
ready
a
to
hand.
murder that man.
And mind you, he did all that. He only went Super Saiyan 1. He didn't even go
Yeah,
Super Saiyan
correct,
2, which is crazy. He didn't, or that other form that he has, was just the
correct.
with the
It was
black hair.
just what base Super Saiyan 1 would he had.
So again, this just shows
Mm-hmm.
how powerful Gohan really is. And then obviously the movie goes out of his way to really make that a point, because you hear Piccolo say it all the multiple
Yeah,
times.
he said, because he said you could be the being, the most powerful being in the he said the world and the human universe. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I was like, damn, yo, what like that is that super what if, that asterisk of button right next to Dragon Ball Z. Like, what if Goku would have died in season one as intended,
Mm-hmm.
initially originally planned, and then Gohan really would have taken over the franchise. Like,
Oh,
how
I got one more
different
thing.
how different would that have been?
I got one more thing that annoys me about the Dragon Ball Z universe.
Go on,
The
lay
way
it on
they
me.
be the way they be so flippant with their wishes, bro. My man,
Bro.
my man wanted to awaken his and Gohan's latent ability. Why did he not just wish for Gohan to have his latent ability woke out? Did Gohan have to be there for that to happen? Is that like a rule that the person has to be
No,
present? Like he could have just
no,
been like,
because
okay,
Bulma
wish
even
one,
says it.
wish
Bulma even
one.
says it. Oh, we could have just wished to have Goku and Vegeta
Yeah,
here.
he could have been. You're right. Wish number one, open my tap into my latent ability. Wish number
Right.
two, tap into Gohan's latent ability. Wish number three, transport Goku and Vegeta here. Boom, boom, boom. We Gucci.
We
Like,
Gucci.
and I get it.
I can
I get
see
it. The
why they
whole this
played it
movie
off.
needed to showcase that needed, and
It
I'm
wasn't. It
glad
was. Yeah. It
they
wasn't for
showcase.
Goku. It wasn't for
Vegeta
Goku
and
and
Goku
Vegeta.
aren't solving every problem,
Mm-hmm.
which is the issue with Dragon Ball
Which
Z.
I, which I,
Vegeta and Goku
obviously.
solve every problem. They defeat every villain for the most part. Or like for the most part, they win every battle. So
Right.
I like getting other characters to shine. So they had to come up with some way for
I
them
feel
not
they could have done
being
it a
here.
little better though,
I
as
agree.
opposed
I
to
agree. I
just as
definitely.
opposed to just having Bulma get double cheeked up with a BBL right on the
Yeah.
spot. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like Bulma, we get it. You're aging. You've been using all these. You've been using the dragon. So yo,
But
she's
like
just
I
been
think like at the minimum, I would have been fine if like he made the wish to do his latent. Maybe we open up Gohan's latent ability, and then before he could wish for like Goku and Vegeta to come back, he was thinking about it, and then maybe Bulma just jumps in and does a wish.
right,
But he
right.
just was like, okay, you do the last two wishes.
But
Like, bro,
I feel like it's down. It's a
he
little
could have
dumb
been like,
too.
get me, I'd like to wish for some more sensu beans.
Right, but
Like,
they're just sticking to the whole mythos of those
I
being
know,
super scarce. So it's like
yeah,
I
yeah,
get it,
yeah.
I get it,
And it's
I
just
get
like
it.
and this is not just for this movie. They're always so flippant with their fucking wishes
But
in the Dragon Ball Z
that's
series.
been the entire franchise
Yeah,
since the existence of the Dragon Balls.
wild.
But yeah, I mean, having Bulma get a BBL on the spot, it's kind of it's hilarious. Don't get me wrong. The way they did
Yeah,
it was
they,
it
they
was
were going for
delivered.
the
It
comedy.
was yeah. It was pretty funny. But the movie goes out of its way to tell you like, yo, she's just been collecting Dragon Balls, wishing, spread, just recollect. It's like a coupon. It's like here, just keep using it, keep using it, keep you collecting, use, collecting, use. It's like so she's continuously doing that. Why are we still? Why even show her get a BBL on the spot? You know what I mean? Like Piccolo said, you could have easily just done some squats.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But I mean, like I get it. I understand the comedy. I
yeah,
laughed. It was
yeah,
pretty funny. Bulma got double cheeked up. We're here for it. When we had to get the fan service some way somehow, and
yeah,
that
yeah,
was the
yeah.
way to do it. So
You
anime
know who would have
is
been
not
some good fan
anime. What,
service? Where's my boy Tien? I would have liked to see him
bro,
throw some fists. Where my
bro,
boy Tien?
bro? What
Come
my
on,
boys? Yo,
how
did
you
the
going? Where
17
my
die
boy
at the end
Tien?
of Super? He didn't die at the end of Super, right?
No, he's
No.
Gucci.
Damn. So
I think he went back to his
why he didn't
island.
show up? Why he didn't show up to throw hands?
He didn't want to. Remember, he didn't even want to fight in the
He
He
didn't,
didn't
but
even fight.
he didn't. But why
He
didn't he
said
just
he ain't
show up?
about helping out and shit. He don't want to fight.
Yo, this man found peace. He's all zen out. He don't want to fight
I
no
forget
more.
what happened at the end. What happened? Didn't he just go back to his island? He didn't die.
Something like that.
I know that.
I don't recall, to be honest. But yeah, it's it was a fun movie, to be completely honest. That's
Yeah,
all I can really
I
say
had a
about it.
good
I had
time. Like
fun.
I had a fun time.
I had fun.
Um, yeah,
And
I
if I
had
had fun, it's a good movie. Granted, it's not better than Dragon Ball Super Broly, which was fucking epic, obviously.
yeah,
But then again,
and again,
you have you got the heavy hitters in that. You got the heavy hitters in that.
yeah,
You
yeah.
got Frieza. You got the Frieza army. You got Broly,
Hmm.
Goku,
You
Vegeta.
got
So
some
it's like
stunning 2D animation.
you got the stunning 2D animation with a little bit with the little hints of
Yeah,
the
correct.
3D CG on the
And
attack and
that
the energy
Broly
blast.
fight.
Bro.
Mm.
This is like bro. But yeah,
You got
listen.
fusion.
You got bro. I mean, you got it in this movie a little. I'll be a
You
little
ain't get fusion
comical,
in this
which
movie. You
obviously
got the comical fusion.
you got the
Yeah.
comical fusion, which I'm never against. Gotenks.
We also need Gotenks and Trunks to start getting serious too.
For real. They've been comedic relief for far too long
Yeah.
and shit. Let's get these boys back up to Super Saiyan 3.
Let's see a teenage Gotenks. No,
Yeah, Gotenks.
what is their final form,
Gotenks.
right? Gotenks? Yeah.
Yeah, when they
Let's
fuse
see
together.
that teenage Gotenks.
Yeah, Gotenks.
Yeah,
Yo,
boy.
Super Saiyan 3. Yo,
Yo.
teenage Gotenks Super Saiyan 3.
Not little
Yo,
shorty.
not little shorty Super
Got a
Saiyan
little
3.
height, souped up.
Oh, yo, this movie would have been wild if we actually had all the Z fighters like at peak.
Yeah.
Yo, at peak with like an ensemble, like let's say Gamma one, let's say they had an army of Gammas, you know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
and then they had the big Hulkling cell, or at least a couple of them, maybe just the
Hmm.
one that we got, but at least an army of fucking Gammas, bro. That shit would have been hard.
You know what they could have done? You know what
Yo,
they could have done?
hard.
Listen, hold up. You know what they could have done? Because you know how a certain this character I'm about to mention, from what I believe, is not canon. I could be wrong. You can correct me immediately. But what they could have done is instead of creating an android, the cell Max or whatever,
Mhm.
what if they made like a cell type android, but cooler? Frieza's brother, cooler.
Yeah.
They could have found a way to bring Cooler into this, and he's got his
I
transformations.
think,
We could have even had an army of Coolers
yo,
for them to
I
fight,
think,
like in
I
the movie.
think, mm,
That would have been pretty. I mean, listen,
that would have been nice.
if he wasn't canon in that movie, which I believe they said that movie wasn't canon, that his
No,
movies
no,
wasn't
his movie's
canon.
not canon. No,
So
just like the original Brody movies. The
they
original
could have
Brody
been
movies aren't
like
canon.
they could have been like, hey, we created this thing based off of those, because remember they have video footage of Frieza and his dad.
Right.
So they could have been like, we saw this alien and like we did some research and we modeled this new android off of them.
Based all that information. Yep.
Off of like
Yeah,
the
they
cell
had it really,
off of Frieza.
Yeah, now that you
and
mention
then
it, they had info on everybody. On
yeah,
everybody. On Bulma, the Capsule Corp, the Z Fighters. They even knew Gohan had a daughter without even meeting the motherfucker and shit.
yeah. So like, listen, they could have done Cooler, but then and just because they know about Frieza. So I think that could have been cool. And they could have maybe made a shit ton of them. I don't know. Maybe they could have made an army of them and then one major cooler. That's like
Right.
the more advanced version. And like they
Mhm.
could have had, and that's why you would need all the fighters because some of them would have to fight off, the army, and then you would have
Exactly.
maybe you could have like Gohan, Piccolo, Gamma One, Gamma Two fighting,
Yo, it would have been that
Cooler
a good old battle
and like
royale
Cooler
shit,
trans
free
and he like
fall.
transforms mid battle, and then they got to upgrade. Then you get Piccolo Orange, and then Gohan starts powering up. Maybe Trunks
Yeah.
and Gohan turn into Gotenks Super Saiyan 3.
Yo, I gotta see that. I gotta see Gold Tanks at least. Teenage Gold Tanks,
And like
Super Saiyan 3.
maybe we could have had like Tien and Gotenks, and maybe and Krillin should have stepped up a little bit. He could fight a little bit, at least
Yo,
like
they
some
made him
androids.
such a fucking joke in this movie.
Yeah, in
And
this
granted, I
movie,
laughed my ass off. His design was
he was
horrendous
doing
too.
way better in Super,
Oh,
at
for
least
sure,
towards
for
the
sure.
yeah.
I don't
So,
like
but
the
yeah,
way
look,
he was designing his movie. To be honest,
they could have had some of the minor characters, fighting that army. Listen, I'm not
hmm
saying that movie would have been perfect, but
it would have been perfect.
I would
But
have loved to see Cooler again
you know
more
what's the
than
good thing
Cell
about
again.
Dragon Ball? You know what's the good thing about Dragon
What?
Ball? As long as the fights are fire, the story don't have to be perfect.
For the most part, yeah.
That's the best thing about a battle shonen like this one.
Yeah.
As long
As
as the
long as the
fights are
fights are
heat,
fire, yeah.
as long as the
Yeah.
fights go hard, the story ain't even gotta make all that much sense. As long as you got from point A to fight, and that's all you need. Point A to fight, that's it. You good.
I
Gucci.
also love how they have such a powerful character like Majin Buu, and their reasoning for never using him is just he
He's
just sleep too
sleeping.
much,
He's just
and we
sleeping.
can't wake him up. What an excuse to not
It's a
use
perfect
to
excuse if you think
sideline.
about it.
Yeah,
Especially if you got a character like that who's
yeah,
almost unbeatable, obviously,
yeah.
powerful as fuck. Is that you got to nerf him some way somehow. Perfect way to nerf him, put him to sleep. Put
Put
him
him to
to
sleep.
sleep. All you can really
He
do.
ain't waking up. He'll wake up when he wakes up, and if he does wake up, who
Exactly.
knows if he'll fight. Dude just likes
Yeah,
food.
listen, he's turning everybody to chocolate. I think we can. I'm here for it. I want to see that again. Turn everybody to chocolate. But yeah, man, Dragon Ball Super was superhero was fun. I'm like I said, I'm excited to see. We got one of the Gammas who survived by the end. We got some new
Hmm.
forms. Obviously, none of this is all canon, which is a little unfortunate because there are
Yeah,
some
because
stuff
like I
that I
said,
would
I
like to
liked the
see.
Gammas. I very
I
much
really
liked
did
the
like the
Gammas
Gammas.
and Hedo. Maybe they'll make it canon. I don't know. I mean, it didn't
Maybe.
seem like it would. I haven't really read the manga, but it didn't seem like it could have really messed up any
Yeah, I
canon
mean,
that I can think of.
I'll be upfront. I won't even be lying on here. I don't read the Dragon Ball
Yeah,
manga.
yeah,
My knowledge of Dragon Ball
I can't
universe is
imagine
all
how it would
anime.
mess up because it was so secluded into just fighting the Red Ribbon Army only, and it
Hmm.
was like on their turf, like in their little hidden base,
Exactly.
and at
Yeah,
the
like
end
the
of the
fight was brought to them. It wasn't brought
yeah.
to the world. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
secluded as
so and
hell.
it doesn't really impact that. We get a new android, Omega 2 and Hedo, and then like they could just like pretend like so if Gohan hasn't turned into that in the manga, that like
Hmm.
silver hair transferred, which I don't believe he has.
I don't think so.
If he hasn't, they can kind of just ignore that.
I believe he has a new power up form
Yeah.
in the manga, but it's not what we saw in his movie. I know
Yeah.
that.
So like they could just ignore that. Like you can make that canon and just be like, oh,
Hmm.
remember that transformation? That was just like temporary. It wasn't his final form.
You know what's crazy too. Now looking back at it, not even just looking back at just our childhood in general. You know how we used to spend so much time on Google, just looking up different, sand forms or whatever, like
Yeah.
with the white hair, the
Yeah, that one really
extremely
went around.
long gold hair, the blonde hair. Super Saiyan 10 was like the
Yeah.
shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now looking back, I'm like, damn, I wonder if Akira Toriyama really just spent time on Google, just looking at these fan arts
I
of
do
what of what
I
these
saw
sands
someone
can possibly look like.
I saw someone memeing the what do you call it? The transformation for Gohan, and they were like, I would have rather this. And they showed like I think it was like Gohan or Goku, and the hair was like Super Saiyan 3 times like 52. Like it was just like a
Wow.
massive sphere of hair, of Super Saiyan hair.
Right.
And I was like, do you know how much of a nightmare that would be? Super Saiyan 3 is already wild to like animate and like
Right.
I'm not even just thinking like the animator animating, but also just like that blob of hair moving around the screen while coordinating like fight scenes.
Mm-hmm.
That much hair would be a nightmare of like that would look so ugly flying around the screen. Like
Yeah.
all that hair connected to a tiny head. Like
I
and
mean,
that just
I'm
logically
pretty
would be
sure it was
so
harder with
dumb.
Super Saiyan 3 alone with how long
Yeah.
Goku's hair got.
Yeah,
You know what
that
I'm
was
saying?
already a
So
bit much. Like it was
yeah.
a bit distracting on the eyes, though I loved the form. But making hair any longer than that is utter absurdity. I remember that you were talking about the white hair with the white
Yeah,
fur. Like
with the white
visually, that
fur,
looked
that shit's like
cool.
touching the floor.
No
Like,
lie, that would be a nightmare to watch fighting because it would just be hair flopping around everywhere.
right.
Now, I feel like the longest the hair should get outside of Super Saiyan 3, I think is like a special form that should just like come and go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Super Saiyan 4 in
And GT?
GT. I feel like that's the biggest the hair should get.
And I'm
I feel
still
like that's the
mad that
biggest the
form.
hair
I'm
should get.
still mad that
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 form,
form has not come back as canon. Do you know how hard
give
Super
Gohan that
Saiyan
form.
4?
Give Gohan
Yo,
that form.
imagine, yo. Now that you say it, you know how sick it would be if that was his like final like exclusive
That
to him, even
form
though it's not.
deserves to be
Yo,
canon.
it
That
deserves.
form
I'm like, yo,
deserves.
how do you not make? You made Broly canon, who wasn't canon
That
back
form
in the
was
2000s. You
fire.
know what I mean? Like, yo, make Baby
Excluding
Vegeta
everything we
canon.
got with that form,
Yeah, right.
that form deserves better.
It's just the design of that of Super Saiyan
So
4 is
good.
just sick.
The mixture of the fur, which also I think really helps with like the Monkey King, like
Yo, and it goes perfect with this with the lore behind the Saiyans. It just goes
so good, so
perfect,
good.
yo. So good.
The
Akira
form deserves
Toriyama,
better.
somebody send this to Toy Animation, Akira
Bring that
Toriyama.
form back.
Bring Super Saiyan 4 to canon.
Or if Goku gets like say Ultra, like say there was a form beyond Ultra Instinct, that is the final form.
Yeah,
Back to his
that would
roots
be
with
yeah,
the tail and
exactly.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
That is the
Yo,
final
putting it like
form.
that now it will be nice full circle. You know what I mean? He gets his
Yo,
tail
what
cut
if
off as a
Goku
kid.
turned into that form and that was it? He could like that's his final
He
form.
can't
Like
go back. He can't go
that's
back.
that's him. That's who he is. That would be
Super
dope.
Saiyan 4 Goku. That's it. You can't go back anymore. You
Yep.
became the Almighty and shit.
You
You
became the
became
almighty.
existence
Yep.
itself and shit.
You became the Monkey King.
Right.
Boom.
Literally. I think that would be dope, to be honest, because I really do like. I forgot, not forgot, but yo, really looking at it now, I'm like, yo, damn,
That form is so
Super
good.
Saiyan
Him and
4,
Vegeta,
yo,
and then of
really went
course,
hard.
and then the fusion.
Oof, bro. Yo, Toriyama Senpai was dropping some gems back into that one even
Yeah,
canon.
man.
That's crazy. Yo, make it canon. You made
They
Brody
went way
canon.
too. They were like this design about to go hard.
Yo, facts. And he's like, yo, I'm gonna
I
keep
could just
y'all. I'm gonna
imagine
hold on. I'm gonna keep that in the tuck.
they're drawing that design on paper and the paper just starts lighting on fire.
The paper just starts
Just
talking
starts
and shit. What are you
burning.
doing to
It's
me?
too hot. It's too hot.
You know what a paper, what that desk would have looking like? You know, when they drawing on wood
Burn
and you got it,
marks
the
everywhere.
burn marks on the wood and shit, when you making wood art. That's exactly what that desk was looking like when you
People come
drawing
in and they're
Super
like,
Saiyan
"Yo,
4.
what happened? Did the studio catch on fire?" And they just like, "You don't know what we cooking up.
No, they
You
don't
don't
know
even
what we're
know."
cooking. They don't know what we're cooking. Not yet. Not yet. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't got much else to really say about Dragon Ball Super. To be completely honest, I think we covered everything. Everything was dope. But like I said, I have fun. I have fun with the movie. And if I have fun watching Dragon Ball,
Yep.
anything, then to me, that's a good time.
Yeah.
Does the
Same
story have
here.
to be perfect? No, because I already know
Mm.
walking into anything Dragon Ball, I'm here for the action, baby. I want to see people throw hands.
I
That's what I'm
do
here
hope.
for.
I do hope because like I feel like Dragon Ball Z can do it. I just want them to come like with the next movie, you know that they whatever they come out with.
Mhm.
I want them to come with the heat. I want because like this movie was like I had fun, but I didn't have like Jujutsu Kaisen fun. I didn't have like
No, I didn't have Jujutsu
that
Kaisen
final
hype.
scene fun
Mm-mm,
or like
mm-mm,
Demon Slayer the final that final
mm-mm.
train scene. Like I didn't have that kind of like
Yeah, it
yo
wasn't
that's
Demon Slayer. It wasn't Demon Slayer versus
like
the last
yeah
demon in season 2. You know what I
correct
mean?
correct.
With Tengen and teaming up against the Gyuki, whatever his name was.
Like this, like
Um,
don't get me wrong, I had fun. But like that final fight combination was dope, but it wasn't like edge on my seat dope. You know what I mean?
right,
Like
exactly.
I want
Granted,
them to
I was hyped when I first saw it. I was at
yeah.
home watching the screen. I was like,
I think I was really
I
just hyped
was
because I
like,
saw because
yo, shit.
Piccolo got an upgrade, and I think that like that
Oh, that
shit got
was
me.
lit. Yo,
That shit got me hyped.
him falling and he getting that upgrade. I was like, let's go,
Yo,
Papa
when he rolled up and he
Piccolo.
was just like just
Yo,
jacked.
jacked.
My man was just ooh. My man went to the
Yo, put
gym.
some respect on Piccolo's name, bruh. As if he didn't have enough respect already, but put some
I,
more respect on his name.
the last thing I'll say is I
Simple.
do love that everyone kept on referring to him as like his like past self, and he's like, I'm not
I'm
that
not
anymore.
because I'm not that anymore.
Jesus,
King Piccolo, Kai. Oh, you are
I'm.
Kai. I'm not that anymore.
Listen, it's complicated how Namekians work. Okay,
Exactly.
we're
Shit,
complicated.
we even got Dende in this, yo.
Yeah,
We
we
even
got
got that.
Dende right.
How the
Dende's just
little
like,
people.
hey,
I'm here.
I'm still here.
Yo, I was like,
God,
oh shit, I forgot all about Dende and shit. He's stuck up there being the Kai now and shit. But yeah, it was fun. But yeah, that's all we got. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our little shindig for this episode. Next episode, we got you a little more heat. We'll be talking anime news. There's a lot that we need to cover in terms of anime news because there's a lot of shows that are coming out in the fall. There's some new movies that have been announced. There's a lot going on with One Piece too. We got the series, the live action series on Netflix. Um, and now the manga entered the final arc. You know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on within the anime industry. A lot of My Hero Academia, the sixth season. There's a lot to cover. So we'll have a nice, juicy, meaty episode for you guys on the next one. We'll also be talking
double
Tekken
cheeked up.
Bloodline, double cheeked up like Bulma, baby. Double cheeked up like Bulma. We'll have that nice BBL episode for you guys with Tekken Bloodlines, Uncle from Another World. We got you covered. But yeah, that's it for us this week. We'll see you guys on the next one. Keep up with Anime in the Basement wherever you guys find the Nerdy Basement. Boozer is Last Line Show, Twitter. That's what he be at. That's his
Mm-hmm.
domain. That's his hyperbolic time chamber. Callback, obviously. You can find him there. We'll see you guys on the next one. As always, stay nerdy, my friends.